Hey guys, welcome to the video, and today in this video I'm going to be talking to you guys about a setup that I think is a perfect setup for any beginner YouTuber or even advanced ones if these things are used properly. So this is just a setup in a set that I'm going to be talking about, and all these devices can be used together to kind of collectively make really great videos. So first of all, I'm going to be talking about the cameras that we have and kind of go down the list with everything that you need for this whole package, right? So highly recommend this DJI Pocket 2, and I do recommend the Creator Combo, which is $150 more. You get a lot more cool stuff with it, which is definitely worth the money. First of all, you get this cool little tripod, which was this whole thing was standing on. It's really durable, so I would never worry about it on failing or breaking. Super durable, super nice, super sleek. Then you have this case, you have the camera with the do-it-all handle, which has the tripod mount on the bottom. You have an audio jack if you don't have your microphone that this comes with, which is right here. It's wireless, so you can pretty much go a huge distance before you get cut off. But it has that noise cancelling thing over it too, which kind of makes a huge difference on audios, and you get really good quality audios out of this camera. And it's surprising how well this gimbal works. If you're running, if you're walking, you don't get those shakes, you don't have to carry any heavy gimbal or anything like that. This works just fine as is, which is really nice thing to have. Now this does run on a micro SD card, which brings me to my second point. You're gonna have to get a micro SD card or a micro SD card with an SD card reader. But I would just go for a micro SD card, but nowadays they just provide the shell everywhere, right? If you get the micro one. But as you can see, I have a micro one here. This is a SanDisk Plus 64 gigabyte V30. You can kind of customize your card to your need. I have many different kinds. So this is a Class 3 A2 V30 512 gigabyte. So basically, kind of whatever I need it for is kind of customized like that. But most of the time I just put them in and I just go to work, right? Not a lot of difference for me, but again, if you're critical about your qualities of videos and stuff like that, you might want to check out the SD cards that you're gonna need, right? So you do need a micro SD card for this camera. And my next point is another camera, which is a GoPro action camera. Now this one is GoPro 6, and this one's working perfectly fine for me. But if you guys want to get fancy, you guys can get the newer ones. Right now I think the 9 is the newest, but the 6 is working really nice for me. If I just put this cap back on that you guys see is open right now because I was run out of charge. This thing doesn't really hold up a lot of charge. But yeah, I always keep this plugged in as I'm using most of the time. But if I put that lid on, it's a waterproof camera, so you can take this anywhere, do anything. And if you get the protection plan, you break it, they'll replace it. So that's pretty awesome. A lot of cool stuff in here. It's a 4K camera, so you get really good video quality. Kind of goes hand in hand with this quality, so you can use both of them and use it in one video and not have problems with them being too much of a difference. But that's to that. Comes to my next point, which is the actual device itself, which is gonna be, I would say, a MacBook. If you get a MacBook, if you're starting out, you get the iMovie for free. So you got a free editor, right? And MacBook is just good for pretty much editing a lot of good stuff. If you're editing a lot though, I would definitely suggest go for the Pro. This is the Pro that I use. Definitely go for the Pro. And if you're gonna be continuing to do a lot of YouTube videos, make sure you guys get hard drives that are external, so you guys can back things up, because unlike Windows, you can't upgrade the storage of this. But I did get a terabyte, and once I'm about to run out, or if I think I'm gonna need a lot more, which I kind of do, I ran out of 3 terabytes in this little big thing behind me. So it does take a lot of space if you're shooting in 4K, and high quality stuff takes a lot of space, and you will run out of it. You're not even gonna know, trust me. So I definitely believe you should go for a higher space-wise computer, but do get external SSD or external hard drive to back up your files if needed, right? Or you can just delete things after you post them, right? Yeah. So that's that. You guys can pick what you want based on your needs, right? You can even get a 256 gigabyte and just keep deleting your files. You should be fine. So next thing I want to bring to your attention is the limitation with this laptop, right? So I've got the MacBook Pro 13-inch, and I've got this dongle here, which kind of goes really nice hand in hand with the actual laptop. So it goes on the side and kind of flattens out when you take the lid out, right? Kind of flattens out with the keyboard side, right? And then also on the back kind of flattens out, and it kind of becomes part of the laptop, right? Now, this is space gray, so same color, so it kind of blends in. Really like that part. And it does have 2 USB-C, 2 USB 3, and microSD and SD card slots. So you have everything in here that you need for to connect your devices for charging and data transfer after you're shooting, done shooting a video. Now the best part is, not the best part, but a really good part is on this side you have an HDMI port. So if you have external monitors just like I have in the back, and you need a bigger screen to work with when you're editing your videos, hook this up to a HDMI and hook it up. Then you have a whole bigger screens and stuff. So that's really nice that they offer this. And this is just everything in one package, and it's not gonna, you can just carry this just with your laptop. I don't think I'll ever take this off again, so it'll just stay on just like that, and just leave it in the bag wherever I'm carrying. And when I need, I still have 2 ports that the laptop originally came with to charge and to data transfer, and I have a lot more other outlets that I can work with all the time, right? There's another option that you can actually go to. I think that device was that I showed you right now was like $35, but you can go for a cheaper route. I mean, they have cheaper version of that, like $20 or something. But you can go a cheaper route, and you want to use Apple stuff. You can definitely pick up this dongle for like $20. It has the regular USB on one end and USB-C on the other, so you can plug this into your MacBook and this to your device. That brings me to the next device. So this is an Anchor USB, micro SD and SD hub. So this does have the USB 3 on it. So basically, if you get this dongle, you could just like kind of plug this in and plug it into your computer and call it a day. But since we got this one with all these options, right, I can just plug it into the USB 3, right, and then I will have all my data. I would be able to transfer all the data right into the computer, right? So it just goes just like that, and bam, I have the device connected, right? And this reader here has 2 slots. Now you actually are not gonna need this device at all if you get this one, because this one actually comes with the reader, as I said before, the SD and micro SD. So no matter what kind of camera you're using, if you guys are using the SD cards, micro SD or regular SD, you should be fine with this device itself. So you don't even need to get this extra device, right? But now you are still getting kind of a third party, but I don't know if Apple actually makes anything like that with their dongles. I'm not sure, but they probably do. But basically, if you get this, if you end up getting this, you're gonna have to get this, and then you're gonna have to plug this in, and then you're gonna have to do all that. But you know, you're just creating a lot more, you know, ways to go and stuff like that, where you can just directly plug the things into this little device, which I do have a separate video on, and I will leave that in the description for you guys to check it out. Pretty awesome. And as far as a laptop really goes, I do also use a Hewlett-Packard HP Spectre X360. This is actually my favorite laptop, which I have been using for the past 5 to 6 years. I know this thing is super old, and this basically got, you know, everything that you kind of need, you know. So this is a brand new screen. I just broke the screen a couple of days ago, and then the touch screen stopped working, so I just replaced the screen, which is really expensive actually. But basically this is a 360, so you know, you can kind of like, you know, make it a tablet and, you know, use it that way as well. So a lot of flexibility with this laptop, and you also, you know, do have all the ports that you need to not only charge your cameras and data transfer and all that, but also you have the SD card slot as well. So you know, you don't really lose anything or don't have to carry anything with anything extra with your laptop. Now the con is this is a 6-year-old laptop. That being said, this one doesn't actually record, I can't edit like 4K stuff on this, but if you get the newer version of this, obviously you can do all of that with no problem. But with this, I can't do all of that anymore. But if it's like a, you know, quick video here and there that I have to do, I can definitely grab this and do it really fast. And if you guys are starting out and you do have a Windows laptop, just like this, or any kind really, you know, if you're just starting out and you don't know how things will go and how things, you know, how to edit things and stuff like that, I would definitely urge you to try the Windows Movie Maker. That's where I started with, and that's the simplest video editor that you will ever find anywhere, because that is so simple, super simple. But only thing that I don't like is it doesn't edit 4K videos. I mean, it does edit 4K videos, but it just doesn't come out 4K. So that's a really horrible thing, you know, because the editor is so good and it's so easy to use. It can, you know, pop up with a video in a couple of minutes, but it doesn't come out with 4K videos. It only comes out with like 1080 highest, so that's a really downside. But I do have the Adobe Premiere, so which is what I use most of the time on my desktop. That's something that you can invest on, but if you get the Apple one, you get it for free. I mean, you get iMovie for free. So I don't really like iMovie. I haven't used it in like 5 years maybe, I think. But yeah, if you are starting out, you probably would get used to it. I got used to Adobe and Windows Movie Maker, so I really didn't like the Apple stuff. But this does have a lot more flexibility and, you know, less things to carry. Although it is going to be heavier than your MacBook, because it does have, you know, a lot of stuff in here. And best thing I like about this laptop is I can actually upgrade my storage and all that stuff. This thing I bought with I think 256 gigabyte when I got it. At that time, storage actually 256 was a lot back then. I mean, we used to buy flash drives that were like 4 gigabytes. Come on, really. So this was a lot back then, but nowadays 256 is kind of nothing, especially when you're keeping 4K files. So you know, that has an option where you can open up the laptop and actually change the size of the hard drive. I mean, SSD. And it's super fast. I just love, you know, how fast it actually still is after 5-6 years of rough use. But you know, knowing laptop that are from Apple, they slow it down like every 2-3 years. So definitely not trustworthy if you're spending a lot of money in it. And if you value a lot of your money, then I would definitely go toward the Windows part, because you can always change out parts if you don't like them, right? If you don't like something that's slow, you can always change it out. But always try to get a higher end Windows, right? So you can do all that. But with the MacBook, if you're doing, you know, a little editing here and there, just starting out, I think MacBook Air, even the base model, is perfectly fine for you. And if you do run out of storage with that issue, you can get a cheap hard drive or an SSD that plugs in externally and deal with that issue as well, which is what a lot of YouTubers do. But overall, you know, I just really like the setup. If you're doing action, you can grab your GoPro and do that. You know, I can mount this on my bike, motorcycle, whatever, you know, I need to, and, you know, call it a day. It's super easy to deal with. This thing is a trooper. Man, this thing is so good. You know, you do any kind of vlog, it just turns out so cinematic, you know, with the really high quality gimbal that they provide with this. But one thing I do have problems with both of these cameras, their battery life. But you know, with every 4K camera, the battery life is pretty short. But yeah, you got this here. You can get another type of wire, whatever, and you can get a power bank, which is my next device, which I don't really have at my hand right now. But there's a power bank that you can get, which does wirelessly charge your cell phone if you and your AirPods, whatever wireless device you basically have that charges wirelessly. You can, you know, charge it on top of that, and then they also have a USB-C to whatever you want, and then a regular USB outlet with the stand, so you can watch things on your phone. Pretty cool. I'll leave that also in the description for you guys to check that out. And all of these products that I talk about, I will leave them in the description, so you guys can just click it and find it, right? Most of these are from Best Buy or Amazon or Apple, so they should be really easy to find. But if you guys do have any questions about editing or anything like that, please let me know in the comment section below. I'll see you guys next time. Have a nice one. Peace.